Poodle family, how we doing today? Hey, all right. Oh my gosh, it is Wednesday, November 24, the day before Thanksgiving here in the United States. Funny thing is, I was, as you all know, from the pre-record last week, I was, it is Wednesday, Space Dog, it is Wednesday. Tomorrow we have, our Thanksgiving, and then followed by Black Friday, which is the biggie. And I love when I was in Italy the last couple weeks and had my, my pre-record. The funny thing is we're walking through all the shops and they're, advertising Black Friday sales. So obviously, Black Friday, we're global with this. Traditionally for us, the day after our Thanksgiving. And so, I thought about what do I want to do for this week's episode? And, it seemed natural to do a thank you because there is so much to be thankful for. But I also think that we need to do more than that and talk about some changes and really how we as a token can capitalize on the way the world has changed over the last 18 months or so, okay? And so I am going to talk about being thankful, and I know so I'm following the chat too here. The deals are meh. I wonder what that has to do with the supply chain, which actually I'm going to get into as to why supply chain helps us as a token today. Yes, financial freedom, great. So what we're want to get to is first I need to do some thanks. And I want to do a big thanks to you all. I kind of talked, and obviously going all the way back to episode 1, talking about my house fire, how I got into Poodle, and I did my thank you episode maybe about 7, 8, 9 of them ago. I'm losing track. I can't believe we're on 26 already. And talked, just thanking the admins, thanking Sasha, thanking Moose, thanking Elle, thanking everybody who is there all the time. And yes, everyone, I know I'm not going to go and name everyone, or should I just open up? Maybe we can do that. I'll just do a reading of names. I'll open up Telegram and I'll just read everybody's names. No, but I just wanted to say, a thank you because there is so much that I look forward to. Tell me, am I the only one? Okay, what's the first app you open up in the morning? I'll tell you right now that I either open up Trust Wallet or I open up Telegram. Those are the first two things I do every morning. And what does that say, right? Is it have to do with just because I'm interested in the crypto and seeing how it goes? Yeah, of course. But it also means that this is where, the hashtag Poodle fam is. Right? We know if I'm going to get up, the first thing I want to see, of course, how the token did overnight while I was sleeping, but also I want to see, what's our family been up to? It's kind of like checking in, where it used to be check the Facebook first thing in the morning or check Twitters and all that, but now it's checking the Telegram. And I think that that's a big change. And I know for me personally is why I want to thank you all as a family. And just kind of giving me that feeling of, hey, there's something to wake up to every day. We need to be thankful. We went through this, 20 months of a pandemic or so. I mean, know what month we're up to right now. But we, how do I even say this? Let's just be honest. When we all hit March 2020, and we had no idea what the world was going to happen, right? We had no idea what changes were going to happen. We thought, 2 weeks we'll be out of this, a month we'll be out of this, then we'll be back to normal. And the world has changed. The world has become different. And that really gave us all opportunities to rethink priorities in our lives, rethink how we, how we're going to communicate, how we adapt with other people, how we're going to live our lives professionally. And that's where we recognized, hey, things are not going to be the same. What's important for us? And for me, obviously, you got to do work, you got to take care of your family, but where do you really want to be? Do you want, as was already put in the chat here, do you want financial freedom? Do you want to just wake up every day and go to work? Do you want to just go through the grind? Or do you want to have a purpose? Do you want to have freedom? Do you want to have the ability to say, you know, I want to decide what happens with my life, right? And that's why, you know, I always tote the swag, because I know when I see what's going on in our roadmap that there's such a difference in what we do and what our token has for long-term success, that we will always have an advantage over everybody else. And if, you know, I think one of the best things that's happened to us is our kind of, I'll call it a slow roll, where so many others have kind of peaked and fallen, and we've had a constant growing and a constant growth of purpose. And what that's going to end up doing is establishing us well in the future. We've already seen lately in the last few weeks some big buys coming in, right? We've already started seeing how we've gotten attention of a lot of people on Twitter that have that little check mark, and that's starting to get seen. And I guarantee you that some of these big buys are probably some of those people, right? They're just not going to say it, but they recognize the opportunities, right? And oh yes, to say here, yes, I did wear the swag in Italy. Of course, of course I wear my Poodle swag. You know that. I got to take it everywhere. And so, what we start to recognize is that as we've started growing, there's going to be a purpose, because there were so many just, junk tokens out there. How do we separate? And the fact of the longevity. If you remember back in the first few episodes, I said that our strength isn't in pumping fast, but lasting long. And that's what we've been able to do. With so many that have come and gone, we're still strong. And that is going to be the huge change that pushes us to financial freedom, every single one of us. Now, all of us who have been taking advantage of, like I said last week when I did my pre-record on dollar cost averaging, everyone who has kind of just been putting in and watching your bag grow over time, especially over this last, 10 months, 11 months, if you've been doing that strategically, you're going to be very, very well set for the future. And so this is where I turn and say thanks to the admins, especially to Sasha and Moose and everyone working behind the scenes to create our utility. Because the fact is, without utility, there isn't a lot behind anything. That's really what separates us outside of our help to the charities. And I loved seeing how much we've been able to help our charity out and seeing that grow. And seeing as the volume goes, we end up being able to support more. The purpose behind us is what attracts the eyes and makes them stay. And that is important. Then beyond that, as here, and as Sasha just put in the chat, yes, we are very thankful for them. I am also thankful for every person in this community. There is pretty awesome. I sometimes wish that I could get more involved in the Telegram and get in that. I was even kind of mentioning that the other day, going, sometimes I feel like I just mail it in. I do the show every week, but then I don't always jump right in and get more involved with the family. But it's interesting every single time I do, saying that, hey Joe, how's it going? It's not just a pump it meme, but a how are you doing as a person? And I think that's exactly what makes us special. And so I want to give a heartfelt thanks to you as a community, every single one of you. I love how we develop and build one another. Our Telegram, I got to tell you, it's so funny because I don't even go to any other ones. All right, so I've practically sold almost every other token to just throw it into Poodle, right? Probably not good financial advice, but maybe it's great financial advice because of our community, because no other place that I was following before did I ever see a building up and a helping and an educating and showing people how they can be successful in crypto and how they can become part of our family and how they can develop together. And that's one thing that makes us special. And so I really, really think that The one thing we're going to be extremely thankful for, all of us, within months from now, and I will say probably weeks from now, as we are on the cusp of our releases, the huge financial freedom that's going to come. Just think of it this way. When you open up your MetaMask or your Trust or however you're holding it, if you're holding this on an exchange, just move whatever your balance is one digit over. That's only a 10x. So if you got $1,000 into it or $100, imagine what 1,000 just became 10,000. Doesn't that change your outlook on life? Does that change your outlook on crypto? Does it change your outlook on, kind of what we are as a family? And we all have that ability, and 10x is not a lot. And in fact, if you do 10, you can do another 10. You can continue to do another 10. We have so much movement and potential. You even seen some of those Twitter people with check marks just came out last week saying, Poodle is undervalued. Yeah, we are. And that's fantastic, because nothing better than being undervalued at a time when you're about to have a major release, because that means there's movement. There's opportunity. People will be able to jump in and grow the numbers, right? We need to grow the number of holders and the activity, and that's exactly what we're set to do. If we were overvalued before coming out with a product, there's not as much movement, right? People are going to wait for something to fall, and that's exactly why we're actually set fantastically right now. And all of those leading indicators, and I speak a lot from normal investing terms and economic terms, but if you look at it this way, our leading indicators show so much more potential, and especially to get those who really want to be able to invest now and don't have a lot to put in, and that is exactly where we want to be and we need to be. So let's take a moment and be thankful for that. Now, next, I did want to say more than just going through the thanks. I want to talk about Black Friday, and I want to talk about Cyber Monday. Now, what do these actually have to do with our token? On the surface, nothing, right? We're not. There's no sale or anything. Like you don't walk down to the store and buy some, and we can't throw in a 55-inch television when someone buys $1 billion Poodle tomorrow or on Friday. Or can we? And here's what I mean by that. Now, we're not going to really throw in a television, but let's look back and go back to March of this last year or so, like when I really started getting in. I think one of the early ones prior in V1, and we had come out of we were ranging, maybe it was even February. I don't remember exactly the dates, but it was even February-ish or whatever, coming out of the holidays of last year, and recognizing that we're now coming up on a year of a global pandemic. And what changed, right? What changed was you couldn't go out Christmas shopping, right? You couldn't go out to malls. We were all stuck in. There was no sense that you could go to a movie theater. You couldn't go to live events. We were all stuck staring at our phones, staring at our computers, wondering what was going to go on in the world. A lot of people started looking at crypto because they started seeing, especially when Bitcoin did its huge pump, it showed that there was something else going on. Well, today is not much different. There's a supply chain shortage, okay? If you look at, and I think was already put in the chat about Black Friday sales, which are normally fantastic, but this year are going to be actually relatively awful. Why? Supply chain issues. There's no need for major retailers to give huge discounts when they can't keep anything on the shelf to start with. And as soon as something comes in, it's sold at full retail, right? Normally you would see ads all over television with the big bows on top of cars, to go buy your spouse, your significant other, the cars, or to the add-ins that come with buying a new iPad or all those things. Well, those aren't existing this year because they don't have to, because they can't get everything. So what if what if we re-looked at this? What if we said, hey, when people go online on Monday and they're looking at Cyber Monday or they're going on Black Friday, we've already gotten the emails about everything's already early Black Friday and all this stuff. What if what they saw was us as a community saying, if you want to buy something, buy financial freedom for your family. Invest right now in this product of this token. And we could capitalize on that. If we all went out there, and I want to say this, so one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give away, I'm going to buy a bunch, and I haven't figured out how to do it, so maybe we can be creative, is figure out exactly how to get somebody, and I'm going to be giving away as kind of stocking gifts, billion poodle to people, and just say, here's $1 billion, well, here's $1 billion, and here's $1 billion. And that's how I'm going to help them get involved, by giving it as a gift. Because imagine if you open up you come over for your holiday party, and you've got your little wine, you hand them the gift card, and it's just got this little poodle. I'm going to print it up. See, I print my own stuff. I'm going to print it up. It's going to have a little poodle in there, and it's going to have a way that I can be able to transfer to them, and I'm going to show them how to get their own account set up, and then transfer them $1 billion poodle. That's going to be a gift that keeps giving. Now, it may not make a lot of sense to them, but it's going to create talk. And you imagine if we all did that for 5 people. And maybe you don't have to do $1 billion, maybe you do $500 million, whatever. But you figure out a budget, and you say, like I talked about last week, whatever your budget is every month. If you take this month's and you give it as a gift and separate it out by 20 people or so, and you give them their first bit, I guarantee you most of them will try to figure out how to buy more. They will also tell other people what they got. This is a way to take something viral, and they will be interested and they will watch it. Now, that is actually grassroots growth. Utilizing the holidays when you don't have to worry about getting something that's going to get thrown in a drawer, right? Or batteries run out and people don't care. Or, it's the sweater they're never going to wear, the tie they're never going to wear, all the stuff you can't get anyway. But to say, here, and everybody's seen it, right? All over the news, whether you've invested in crypto. We've already talked about this. About 3% of the world's people are even invested in crypto. Yet it's being talked about all over. People know that Elon is into it. Everybody knows that, there's issues and concerns about how governments are going to handle it. People are curious. We've all had conversations with people who ask us because they know that we're into it. And so they get curious as to how they can get in. Make it easy for them, right? I mean, you can set up wallets for free. I mean, technically, you could set a wallet up for somebody and just give them their seed phrase. I don't know. I mean, hopefully they probably would trust you. I wouldn't want to receive something like that, knowing someone could jump in and take it at any point. But there is a way to do that. And that's actually right here. And as I'll just set on the chat, for your family. Set everybody up. If you have 10 family members who've never got into it before, set them all up with a small account. Because imagine what will happen, even if you gave somebody just $100 worth, and we know we've got an easy 20. I mean, it's probably a given 25x the second the app launches, right? Even without trying, we're probably going to go pretty easily. Now, yeah, and that's right. Give them with no BNB, make instant holders. So what if you then do that? And now, after the app is there, you then send them the link to download the app, right? And you say, hey, by the way, remember that thing that I sent you? Here's our utility. And they can show it. And they're going to walk around and show people. And they talked about, my son, my brother, my sister, my aunt, whatever, sent me this crypto. And there's an app. And they're starting to show it around to people. Now, they may not necessarily know how to use it and how to do it, but they're going to learn. And they're going to question. And then when the app comes out and they say we do a 10x and you gave them $50 worth. Well, now their $50 is worth 100, 500, whatever it is. Can't do math today. But do you see how that now starts to grow? So that's what I'm doing for family, and I'm going to do it for party favors. Now, still working out how to do it, maybe get a little card and hand it out and figure out how I can transfer to people. But I think that this is going to be an opportunity for us to capitalize on the world that has changed. People have a curiosity. They've been hearing about NFTs. They've been hearing about crypto. They've been seeing what's been going on, and yet they don't exactly know how to, how to handle it. And so, or even how to start with it, or what it means, or how to handle it, and do anything with it. So this is where I think we have this opportunity to use our position to grow and create a viral holders, right? I mean, if you think about it, if we just, every one of us who, were to just take a handful of people, 5 people, we would grow, our 50,000 to 250,000 holders immediately. Even if you just gave them all 20 to 40 bucks worth, that would grow all of our holding count. And that would actually show us trending, right? We can do our own good by giving away. And this also gives the opportunity to now start opening up conversations. When they ask, well, what is it? Have conversations about our charity. Have conversations about, how crypto has impacted you. I will tell my story. And this is where we really start to build value in what we do. And then you can start talking about the future of it. You can show people how to get onto it. You show them how to get the website, maybe even sign up for a Telegram if they don't have it already. This is where we can now utilize the holidays that would have been about going and buying junk at the mall for $10 or $20 that they're gonna wrap and they're gonna take home and it goes on a shelf. If you gave them $20 worth of Poodle, you could change their life. Now, $20, will that ever become 20 million? Realistically, no. But it will do is educate them, and it will bring them into the crypto world. And odds are they're going to buy more, especially because of how we're poised to release our utility. They will become instant investors. And that is exactly what we need to do. So that's that's exactly how I'm going to handle this. I'm going to work on getting a little template together, maybe even cards together, something like that. And I'll even load it up and I'll send it off into the Telegram when I get it all designed that maybe you all can steal if you wanted to print it for yourselves or somehow to send something to your family and figure out how to do this because we know that, getting back to thanks, if you really knew, and this is a test to you, if you really believe that this is going to take off, if you really believe that we're going to moon, how selfish is it to not tell other people, especially your loved ones and your friends and your family? Are you a closet cryptoer? Maybe. There's some people who think it's stupid and all of that, fine. But are you actually out there telling people about it? And are you helping them invest in it? We know the world is changing. We know, those of us who are involved in it know it's a matter of time. We know that world government currencies will not last forever, right? We know what the blockchain will do. We know all of these things. And the funny thing is we know it, but we don't even know how. No matter what our biggest guess is still small compared to the reality of what will happen 50 to 100 years from now. So get out there and get people into it. Not everybody is going to be 100%. Yeah, I'm going to go all Poodle. What's the altcoin, this meme coin thing? But you know what? If you send somebody $20, $40 worth of Poodle, you educate them on what crypto is. Now they have another investment opportunity, even if they only bought Bitcoin with it in the future. Who knows, right? You're investing in that person's future for good. Odds are they're going to come right back into Poodle because they're going to see exactly what is so, what gets us fired up about it. And, everybody has been out there hearing about these. Let's now use this holiday season to capitalize on it. Share who we are. Timed so well with all the utilities, the NFTs, everything coming full circle. And we have done it. All right. And this is where, again, back to thanks, but how about a little bit of a cheers for us? When all these other tokens were up, down, existed, failed, rug pulled, whatever, we're here. We survived all the FUD. We made it through. We are thriving. And this is going to be a very, very, very Merry Christmas, very happy holidays, everything you celebrate this year. It is going to be a New Year's celebration worth celebrating forever. We know it. And I think this is exactly what we need to be able to share with everybody. So utilize that. Think, before you start throwing all the money out to Black Friday sales, could you give somebody $20, $35 or whatever in Poodle instead? Educate them. See how your family is going to love it. And it's going to create opportunities to share and grow. So with that being said, I hope I saw this inspiring. Thank you very much. I love this. I love it. Ending child labor. I mean, this is a financial revolution that we have an opportunity to we know we're in early. And so I'm excited about this. Thank you all this week. Thanks, Jane. And I have enjoyed this. I've enjoyed talking to you. I love being back home from vacation. I loved vacation, but I'm back. And of course, you are my weekly therapy, everybody here, just talking to you. So thank you for allowing me to vent. And you guys have a great, great holiday. Those in the States, happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. And actually, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. If you're not in the States, go have some turkey. Go have some meals with your family. Have these conversations. And you take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next week. Take care now.